This episode is for Friday, October 2nd, 2015. Welcome, Crater fans. I'm your host, Josh Owens, along with my co-host,
Ben Strahan. How you guys all doing?
Now your mic's too loud.
Is it really? Okay.
Turn the gain down maybe a little bit.
Gain down.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Indeed. Hello. So we officially got everything done this week. You can go to podcast.crater.io now, and it's all functional, and got the new art up and switched the podcast feed over. iTunes is updated. Everyone's telling me they're seeing the new stuff. So
amazing.
Ooh, that was a lot of work.
And we have an awesome blog post come out from MDG. Woohoo!
Indeed, we did. Yeah, we'll get to that.
A little bit later.
Dropped just today.
It was nice to see our podcast on the top.
For sure.
That put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this week, we're going to be talking about Meteor and reactive publishing. We're going to talk about Meteor Toys 2. We're going to talk about the new Meteor podcast that came out, animations and transitions, and the official Angular package. So,
a lot of Meteor talk.
Yeah, definitely still a heavy slant towards Meteor.
That's cool. We love it.
Yep, we do.
Awesome.
So some of these stories, quite a few of these stories kind of dropped today too, or days. But this first one here, the reactive publishing, totally dropped this morning. And I was like, server-side reactivity? That's a weird
right.
Right? And so I went and checked it out, and it's exactly what I've always wanted on the server. You now get tracker auto run, and it's put right into the publication kind of namespace there. So you can say this.auto run, and it'll properly tear things down for you when your publications are torn down, when someone unsubscribes basically from that publication. And this allows you to do things like pay attention to when other records change, right? And so if you think about it, in the Mastering Meteor class I do, one of the big lessons is showing you how publishing multiple cursors works, and the edge cases you can run into if you publish multiple cursors, because it doesn't necessarily so in that example, you have users you're following, and you go grab all those user IDs, and then you do a query to get all the tweets and all the tweet and user information for those tweets.
Right.
And the problem is that, when you do that, you don't get reactivity on looking up those user IDs. So if you go follow a new user, those tweets aren't going to show up at all in the interface like you would think they would in a reactive kind of environment like this. And, I say it in almost every class, if only we had tracker auto run, this wouldn't even be a problem. And we end up writing 60 lines of code that shows you how to push your own records onto DDP. So basically you have to watch a bunch of cursors and do all that on your own. So having tracker auto run lets us kind of get rid of that. And now we can just say, watch everything that might be reactive inside of here, right? We do a find call that should be reactive. And anytime that data updates, rerun this block of code and republish anything that's related to it. So I don't know what kind of performance concerns this thing might have with it, but it looks super interesting in the fact that I have to write way less code.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and he gave a great example with permissions. I think that is something that could hit home with a lot of people. So that was a good example to see down below. It's really interesting. I'm interested to use this.
Yeah,
totally. I've been using Publish Composite.
Yeah, that's Publish Composite is littered all over that Cordova project that I've been working on, because it's just I mean, it's what was available and how the data was coming across from Drupal. Like it was all structured in a kind of like SQL-esque way. So,
Mhm.
I had to grab multiple records to kind of get the information we needed onto the page, and publish composites okay. I still think there's maybe some performance concerns in there. So,
Yeah,
and
very
this
cool.
one, like you don't even like you literally just put a auto run wrapper around the stuff and that's it. So you can use your regular syntax,
Mhm.
which is pretty awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, we're getting away from the client a little bit more, moving some more stuff over into the server. Interesting stuff. Yeah, reactivity on the server has always been a huge thing.
Yeah.
So, which being new to Meteor, um, when you discover it, you might like think, "Oh, this is a gotcha," um, until you start doing things the Meteor way. And this just is an awesome tool to add to the arsenal now. That you
Yeah,
can
for sure. I'm
good stuff.
glad Mitar, I think that's how you say it. I'm glad he put this out today and shared it with everyone. I think it's I haven't read through the code, but it seems like it could be a solid implementation. And even if it has problems, like this is what like day one that it's been announced. So
Mhm.
this stuff's probably fixable if it does have any problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
go
good
check
stuff.
it out, guys.
Yeah. Talking about something that got released, Meteor Toys 2 by Max Savin. So he released the second Meteor Toys, and he partnered up with the guys from Modulus to broadcast the news on the Modulus blog. And props for Max for making that connection, man. I think that's the first guest post that Modulus has ever had on their blog.
They've had a couple. I'm wearing my modular
Yeah.
shirt today too. They've had a couple, but I think they said in the blog post they were the first. But I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure like Gerard and a couple other people have put some posts up there too.
Oh, right on. So I was just thinking a few weeks back, I was like, man, what is Max going to do? I know that he's going to be adding something. I know he's going to like step up his game. What is he going to do? And uh, going through the new features, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
This blog post goes through the new ones, and I am looking even more at this. The biggest thing that stood out to me was he's really taking the fight seriously about getting rid of the council and bringing everything to right to in your interface.
yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I think the thing that I found most interesting in this, again, like I'm comfortable with the console, so
Mhm.
I don't really feel the need to replace it myself. But the template stuff is super interesting to me.
Yep.
You're able to open that up and hover over a template, and it'll tell you everything about it. And I really like that feature.
Yeah.
It maybe looks a little better than the one that comes with constellations. So I installed it just to try out the template stuff because I needed to take a look at like what was happening and where a template was coming from, and that helped. And Max's implementation just it works a little bit better. So
Yeah.
kind of exciting too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like the latency. What's he call it? Like faking the latency of it. I like
Throttle.
yes, that's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Like you're able to just say like slow this down so it looks like it's like
Hmm.
Crater when you hit the upvote button. Takes a while.
Hmm. And just the fact, like, again, this is a developer tool, so it will be easier. It will be faster. That's what we could do it in other ways, but do it right then and there when the thought comes to you while you're testing. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's right on. I like the emails
Yeah.
and
That one looks super interesting to me too. It reminds me a lot of in the class that Sam and I teach, we show how to stub out email sending and like catch those into an inbox that you can then test against. And it reminds me a little bit of that, right? Like it's just
right.
catching the email sending and exposing it in an interface to you. So you can take a look at those and make sure they look right. So
Yeah, it is good stuff. Max, you did a great job, man.
indeed.
Yeah. So if for you guys that don't know, check out Meteor Toys. It's $99, and we don't have any kind of special discount on the Creator Podcast to give you.
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
We don't.
We did at one point.
Did we?
But I don't know if that works anymore.
Well, what does work is you can go to the Modulus blog post, and they do have a special discount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So read it on through. Check out this blog post. See if it's worth it to you. See if it will speed up your development time. I think it will.
Yeah. So just go to podcast.creator.io and click on the show notes link for the Modulus blog post, and you'll see the coupon code down there.
Yeah. This sounds like a sponsored section, doesn't it?
It kind of does. It's a little weird, right?
People, it's not. We just like what Max did.
Yeah. I thought it was worth talking about, especially because like he came out with did he actually include the SDK, or it's coming soon? What did he say? It was at the very end.
That's a good question. Let's see here.
Yeah, he said
there'll
be an upcoming blog post about it later. So
yeah, so you can extend it. So that would be cool. So Meteor Toys is going to become kind of like a platform. That would be good stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. What do we got up next?
I feel off my game today. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm feeling low energy here, guys.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't know.
We need some Red Bull shots before we
Preppy fall day, I guess. Here's the thing. Like we've almost gone from like summer to winter in like 2.5 days here in Cincinnati. It's kind of ridiculous.
We're two Midwest boys, and so you guys are going to see us as we go into our hibernation mode. Our beards are going to get 3 feet long.
Yeah, my beard's going to double.
We're going to start like slowing down, talking slower.
All right. So next up is the Super Meteor podcast. Sasha and Tom got together and recorded some episodes, and they released 2 of them actually this week. Quite a bit there. And this is number one. I always love seeing more podcasts because I hate listening to myself. And if you don't know me, like I actually don't listen to any of these podcasts. I actually pay someone to edit these because I hate listening to things I've already done. I don't know. I'm weird. So, now we've gone from having Meteor interviews as the other option to now having 2 with Discover Meteor podcast. So, that's super interesting to me. And I was excited when Sasha told me about it and he got it launched. So I think I listened to about 10 minutes earlier today of the first one, and the production quality is good. And the content seems pretty good. For me, I was listening to the What is Meteor. I know a lot of that history, so I feel like that wasn't a great episode, but I'm going to queue up episode 2 as well and take a listen. But it's...
Well, and you got to figure, are we the target audience?
No, we're probably not, right?
No.
Like this is for people that buy the book or people who potentially may want to buy the book.
That's right.
But I think it's good. Like we've now got almost a tutorial style podcast available. Right. Whereas we've got news, we've got talk show, we've got like one-on-one interviews, and now we've got some tutorial style stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I haven't talked to Sasha directly about that. I congratulated him, but we didn't talk back and forth. One thing that I should have asked him, maybe is after they like cover the basics, which I'm sure they got a number of podcasts there, like that would be nice and long. But like after that, what's next on their agenda?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't talked to him about that either. He said that as far as pacing went, they were thinking maybe 1 a month or something around that range.
Oh, okay. Wow.
take them a while to run out of content in the first place.
Yeah, that's a handful of years then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and now you've got React and Angular and all kinds of new things come in. I'm sure, a year from now, maybe we'll get some SQL support.
One cool thing is I was on iTunes checking out my latest podcast.
Oh, yeah.
The Ben and Abby Show. Fun stuff where we answer developers' questions when they're getting new developers' questions and stuff like that. But anyway, we're under the software how-to category, and so is Sasha's and Tom's podcast. And they were at the top of that whole category.
Oh, were they really?
Right off the bat, yeah. So congratulations for that.
That's the benefit of having an audience, a mailing list, and he got it on Product Hunt right away. So,
dude, Sasha,
right. For sure.
He did it right, man. Congratulations. That is super awesome.
I'll say, like, he released that like Monday or Tuesday, and we put one out Wednesday, and he's got like almost double the downloads we do on the episode. So we were comparing stats. I think over the long run, we get more downloads. It just takes a while to get it out there. But it's super, like I said, super awesome, and I'm excited. I think it's a good thing for the community to have more content like this out there. So.
Absolutely. And it kind of validates the medium that we're using. Podcast is a medium to get the news out.
Yeah.
Is it a good one? Well, we will only be able to tell when more people start playing around in NC, bring more awareness to it.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. I've been doing this since 2005. This is my third podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So next up, we have animations and transitions in Meteor done by the blog meteorlife.com. So interesting. I really like the article because it does a great job outlining the history of animations in Meteor, where we came from and where we're going, and touches on a few options that we have available to us right now. And also some of the popular libraries that are out there for animating any kind of web app, Velocity and GreenSock. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I actually like that he kind of went to the trouble of outlining a couple packages. He even included, like, with the Meteor Animate package, he included a sample of like what that looks like, and just kind of comparing those overall. Because sometimes that's the hardest thing. Like, I was noticing in a forum post today that people were like, well, I didn't even know about these two packages you guys mentioned here. And I think, like, when you're down in it every day, or like you're in the Slack chat room, like maybe it's easier to get package recommendations. But if you're not working with Meteor every day, or you don't have like someone who is, like, it's going to be hard for you to know what's the right package to choose, or what are the options, right? Because, some people like one package and not another.
Well, I also would like to just like say this, I can't talk about this blog post brings a good amount of attention to the fact of animation and the front end, where that might not be like the number one focus in a lot of the apps that are being built right now, or the guys that are building them. And we need more attention on animation. I think we have, as the front end has moved on in the future, so CSS and growing CSS was huge. There was a revolution with responsive design that came out. And now it seems like the next revolution is interactive user interfaces that is really geared towards the user and kind of bridges the gap between real life and the screen. Elements on your screen will react how you expected them to react based off of things in real life. Just like the mantra that like material design is trying to achieve. with their shadows and how things animate in and out. And we need a solid answer for that. Right now it's kind of like, you got to like build your own, and it's kind of difficult. You have to be putting a lot of attention into the state of your clients. And do we have the money and the budget and the schedule to give that amount of attention that's needed for these animations? Not always. So it's good. I really like this blog post because it kind of outlined the importance of it, what we need. And I think that there's a lot of room to grow. And that is the same sentiment that this article kind of said. There isn't a really great approach right now. And then like, here are the things that are available to you right now, but it definitely needs some work right now.
Yeah. And they've got the Dominic from Percolate, now works at Meteor. Mm-hmm. He gave a dev shop talk, and they linked to that as well. It's kind of like out showing you what you can do as well. So,
and he did a great job on that talk. Just outlining what to do. It's good stuff. Some more work needs to be done. Absolutely. And that is my one big argument right now with Cordova. We did it. We have a user interface right now. We can use Ionic. That's great. But right now what we are missing, and the mobile, the native mobile builds are there, is animations. The rich user experience with a lot of animations based on your state, really rich user interfaces, giving a great user experience. It would be an enormous effort to like go through and build something that rich in Cordova. So, and that's performant, and you're not going to have anything that's like going to be laggy or jumping around.
Yeah. Like what the Hansoft guy was talking about. Hans.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, totally. I get you, man.
Fun stuff. So, yeah.
All right.
It's that.
So, some Angular news for the week, Meteor related, of course. There is officially an Angular package now that you can use and install, and it will get you everything you need. It allows you to use those Angular templates right inside your Meteor project. You can connect Angular and Meteor data so that you can, bring that data in and kind of use it in your Angular templates if you want. I don't know, I'm not an Angular guy, so I'm just kind of looking over the list here.
Well, I think the big thing is that Yuri, Yuri made the first Angular package that was like really widely accepted, bringing Angular in. He did a great job promoting that, so much so that MDG hired him, and we had him on Meteor interviews talking about that. And we knew back then that his job over at MDG was to really get Meteor Angular integration like top notch, as well with React and getting the official tutorials up. And I think this is a big step in that. Now that the Yuri Go Angular package has now moved to just Angular, so now you can just do Meteor add Angular, and that's saying a lot. When a package moves from a community-powered package to an official package, I mean, that's something to cheer over.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because they hired Yuri, right? So like the same guy that wrote it before writes it now. We just removed the prefix. But I think, that's a commitment that the entire team wants to see it continue. And even if Yuri were to leave, hopefully Angular, the Meteor package would still be maintained at that point, And I think that's the thing why most people care about kind of an official designation on a package, is because it feels like MDG will take care of it as long as Meteor's around.
Yep.
So, and, You made a slip up there, Ben. You said it was Meteor Interviews. It was Meteor Club Podcast.
Oh,
Oops.
I did. Thanks for catching me.
Yeah, don't confuse the listeners.
Yeah. Quick shout out to our boy Paul Dowman. If you haven't subscribed to his podcast, Meteor Interviews, then go out and do it, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
So, well, I guess speaking of Paul, like you guys are like at OK Grow, you guys are always taking new business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
OK Grow is amazing. And we work only on amazing projects. So if you guys have an amazing project that you're part of, a startup or enterprise project, then you should totally email ben@okgrow.com.
Yes, for sure.
How did that sound
or whatever.
That's awesome.
Sure.
But absolutely. I mean, send us your ideas and let's get this thing built. It's I love working at OK Grow because we kick out a lot of things really quick, and the guys that I work with are amazing. I was sharing with Paul yesterday as we were just reviewing like while I work at OK Grow and what I think of it. Every day I feel like I'm leveling up so much more. The velocity of what I'm working on and who I'm working with is the velocity of leveling up is just amazing. So real big shout out to them. I really like the projects that we're on, and we're looking for some new projects coming up, I believe. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So like I also do the freelancing work for Meteors, but I'm pretty full up. So, you know, if you want to work with the second best in Meteor, contact Ben.
I love that.
I had to go there. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Yeah, silent. No. It's good stuff. So, did we wrap up this week?
Yeah, that was the last story, really. I guess the interesting thing that happened, you mentioned that blog post on Meteor blog, which outlined all the different podcasts. I'll have to officially add that to the show notes as well. But definitely give that one a read as well. Yeah. There were some other interesting things that dropped today, but it was after I'd already made the list, so maybe we'll talk about it next week. Because this one was a little confusing to me. On the Ionic blog, they did talk about.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Not needing Angular anymore.
Yeah.
But I read the post and I didn't specifically see that anywhere in the post. Did I miss that? Like, is it in there?
I have it on my short list to read on my train ride home today. So I was
okay.
I just saw the title, which is like removing Angular.
Yeah, I just
what are they going to use? What are they going to use?
The latest batch of Ionic platform of updates for the Ionic platform have landed. I'm excited to introduce the new web client. This new service module has a lot going for it. ECMA 6 support, no dependencies, and it's all bundled as a single include for your app. So I don't know. Like, I'm not familiar enough with Ionic to say if that's true. So someone should tell us. Because, I mean, that's super interesting, because if we don't have that Angular requirement anymore, like I don't have to go kind of learn Angular in order to use Ionic, and I don't have to rely on Meteoric anymore, because, I mean, while Nick and team have done a great job, like a port is always going to be a step behind. So
exactly. Yep. Yeah. And it's a big effort that Nick and the team over at Differential took on porting Ionic. Not all the features that Ionic has is available to Meteoric. You know, they have a roadmap with that as well. So it is super interesting. I can't wait to read it. And now you've intrigued me even more because you haven't satisfied me, man. I wanted you to tell me more about it.
So here's the other interesting thing. Like, they put in the body of the Crater post They put the announcement, but the announcement doesn't match the blog post. So I don't know where the announcement came from.
I
don't know. This is really...
Who posted it in Crater?
Yeah. And, you know, there's also this, the official, I guess this is official, Driftyco : Ionic that you can install now.
Yep, that was last week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so you can bring it, and that's dependent on Angular. So you can bring that into your Meteor project, but it will also bring Angular in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking when I first heard this. I'm like, oh, I wonder if Drifty's going to release a package that is, you know, decoupled from Angular.
Yeah, well, now there's an Ionic platform web client here that you can install. So,
what's that mean?
I don't know. What do you mean, bro?
Yeah, interesting.
We'll figure it out. Maybe
Interesting.
We'll put this one back on for next week, and we'll talk about it more.
Yeah, I'm excited because us peeps over at OK Grow have like just been diving into React like crazy this week. More so than we have in the past.
So that makes you excited about Ionic?
No, I'm just like, I'm segueing away from Angular.
Oh, okay. As the rest of the world also does, maybe? I don't know.
And there are some really neat, since we gave like Ionic some love right now, out of context of our list, we got to like give some of these other packages out there for React, like the mobile components that are out there for React some love. What are those? What is it, like Reapp? I think Reapp is one. And then there was another one like Touchstone. You guys should totally check that out. Yeah, react.io is kind of like a mobile UI library for React. I'm loving that. So nice. There's some competition. And it's solid competition. It's not like poorly put together mobile experience. So I'm pumped. The future looks really cool on the client side.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Crater podcast. As always, it was brought to you by our sponsor, Modulus.io. Still the best hosting platform available out there, at least to the public. But from what I've been hearing, I think it still might be king, even once other things come out. Who knows?
Hey, I just like it because I can throw stuff up there so fast.
Super easy, right?
Yeah.
Let's deploy and
mm-hmm.
it's done. Mm-hmm. I agree, man. I agree. I spent I was monkeying with Crater and this Crater podcast site and all this stuff, and like I really I committed to learning Docker, and so like I was spending my nights this week kind of playing with that, and yeah, there's some, if nothing else, that it would have been a huge time savings for me to just use Modulus. I want to learn Docker, and I want to put some posts up about it. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, you have to try those things, man. You have to skin up your knees because you're the guy who's going to be writing about it. So you can save us from skinning our knees up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. And as always, we renamed the Twitter account. So it's at Crater Podcast now. And the website is podcast.crater.io. And then soon we'll be getting a link up on crater.io, so it'll link back to the podcast as well.
Yeah,
you'll be able to find it that way. But if you're listening to this, it sounds like your client already updated and you're good to go. Nothing else to do. Just keep listening to us.
Yeah. Tell us how much you appreciate this and how much you like the new artwork.
Indeed. Tweet at us at Crater Podcasts. Or if you know what's going on with Ionic more than we do, tweet at us as well.
Yeah. Or if there's something that you want to be featured on here that's already posted on Crater.
Yeah.
Just want to like shout out and be like, yo, make sure this makes the list.
Yeah.
And we accept tweets and bacon. Do it.
All right.
Next week, guys.
This video has been a Meteor Club production. You can find out more information about Meteor Club and join the mailing list by clicking on the Meteor Club button below. If you enjoyed this video, you can also hit the subscribe button below and get more content like this. Thanks for watching.